Good evening. My name is Edward Sanshin Oberholzer. I'm the resident priest and the guiding teacher at the Joseph Priestley Zen Sangha in Lewisburg, Pennsylvania. We're part of Empty Moon Zen. So, Mother's Day is coming up. In a tradition that predates our Mother's Day, a tradition so unlike the one in which Mary, Mother of God, was told of her impending motherhood by the Archangel Gabriel, Maya, young wife of Suddhodana, king of the Shakyas in the land of Kosala, in what we now would call the border of northern India and southern Nepal, had a dream. She dreamt that a white elephant had entered her side. Taking the dream to a seer and interpreter of dreams, she was told that she would bear a son who would become either a great ruler or a spiritual healer. Her husband, the king, wanted more than anything to have his son, Siddhartha, for that would be his name, wanted him to grow in political power, to rule as he was born to. The alternative, that he would become a spiritual leader to the world, was not so palatable. Maya, Siddhartha's mother, lived about a week after his birth, dying as a result of childbirth, and Siddhartha was raised by his aunt, Mahaprajnapati, the woman who stands at the head of the list of female ancestors in our own Buddhist lineage. Mahaprajnapati became the first Buddhist nun and stands not just as the de facto mother of the man whom we know as the Buddha, but as one of the mothers of us all. Buddhism, like so many other religions, has its own past and present misogyny, and it took time for both the Buddha and his followers to accept the presence of women. For this, we can be grateful to Prajnapati. I have her and her descendants, mortal and, well, immortal, to thank for my continued practice. One more celebration of Mother's Day, if not the one that Julia Ward Howe would countenance. But let's step out of this, the world of historicity, and into the mystical. The mystical as it plays out today, as it continues to play out in those worlds outside the mundane. Early in a January morning several years ago, before the sun would rise over the surrounding mountains at Green Gulch Farm in Marin County, California, my fellow Zen practitioners and I at Green Dragon Temple, an outpost of the San Francisco Zen Center, would celebrate the new day with a morning liturgy service. One of the chants that was used was the hymn to the perfection of wisdom, Prajna Paramita, the mother of all Buddhas. It doesn't appear in the Soto school scriptures for daily services and practice, and I don't find it in my own Empty Moon liturgy book, so I don't expect it has risen to most people's consciousness. Yet, there it was, poking at my godlessness, singing the praise of a Mahayana goddess, the goddess of wisdom, the mother of all Buddhas. And it goes, homage to the perfection of wisdom, the lovely, the holy. The perfection of wisdom gives light. Unstained, the entire world cannot stain her. She is a source of light, and everyone in the triple world, and from everyone in the triple world, she removes darkness. Most excellent are her works. She brings light so that all fear and distress may be forsaken, and disperses the gloom and darkness of delusion. She herself is an organ of vision. She has a clear knowledge of the own being of all dharmas, for she does not stray away from it. The perfection of wisdom of the Buddhas sets in motion the wheel of the Dharma. Now, as much as I can't warm to the idea of a God, wisdom, there's a god or goddess I can get behind, not far removed from God as nature, nature as God, the God of Spinoza, but more a goddess who opens your eyes, a mother to hold our hands, to teach, to inspire us. Would that she had been around when Wotan plucked out his right eye to give to the king of the trolls in exchange for the secret to saving the gods from chaos, only to be told that the secret was, keep both eyes open. Neither Prajna Paramita nor the Bodhisattva of compassion would have been so cruel. Would that she had been around in these more mundane times to guide and heal us. And isn't this what we celebrate this coming Sunday, Mother's Day? A mother, real, fictional, ideal, a mother to hold and inspire us, to stand by us when we need her most. East Ocean Boulevard in Long Beach, California is an odd location to find one of the harbingers of the future paths of Western religion, or a nod to Mother's Day. There, with a view of the Pacific Ocean one might die for, is a Vietnamese Buddhist monastery housed in the buildings and grounds the monks had purchased from Catholic nuns whose convent had fallen into bankruptcy. Those monks have maintained the numerous statues of Maria Stella Maris, Mary, Star of the Sea, and together with local Catholic pilgrims who gather before the statues each day, offer incense to what they, the monks, see as an incarnation of Avalokiteshvara, the Bodhisattva of compassion. Buddhism, as it has moved through Asia, has incorporated, absorbed the various gods and goddesses of their new home. And so there on the coast of California, Mary, Mother of God, is seen as the newest form of the Bodhisattva of compassion, the very image of the Pieta. Mary on the half-shell, Kuan Yin, the Chinese goddess and Bodhisattva pledged like a mother to save us all. The Indian Avalokiteshvara, male in India, female as he, she made it across the Himalayas. Mothers all, female, male. Motherhood reaches out and embraces and asks no questions. Now, I'm not sure how my own mother would take being considered in the company of so many Buddhist luminaries. She was raised a devout Episcopalian despite having deep New England Unitarian roots going back through the 19th century, and before that on into the Congregationalists and Puritans in the early days of the Plymouth Colony in Boston. But her religious life came from her father, my grandfather, who was ordained a priest in the Episcopal Church, just as soon as he retired from a career as a mechanical engineer. For my mother, the church was the air she breathed, its hymns, though only in the 1940 Episcopal hymn book, the music she carried with her through the day. She would sing off-key in a voice rendered hoarse by a smoking habit, going back to her freshman year at Hood College. Hymns that she sang as she cooked, cleaned, drove to work, probably as she visited her social work clients, certainly as she drove me nuts. Following her leads, I became an altar boy and eventually head acolyte at our church outside Atlanta, Georgia, a church named after St. Bede. The historians among you all will understand the significance of the name of that worthy church historian, and the Anglophiles among you all will perhaps appreciate the nickname my mother gave to it, St. Bede's in the Weeds. She did it lovingly. I took to it with my quietly growing unease with Christianity. I'd like to say that as time moved on, that seed of atheism that grew within me did not immediately find a voice because I didn't want to hurt her. But in truth, it was cowardice. One afternoon I got off the school bus, walked through the front door, and went back to my room only to find that Mom, in the process of cleaning my room, as she could not be dissuaded from doing, had found under my bed not the stash of Playboys that I had cleverly hidden away where even she would not suspect, though my brother found them instantly, but rather my dog-eared copy of Bertrand Russell's Why I Am Not a Christian. "I suppose this means you don't want to go to church anymore," she asked as she held the book out to me. St. Bede's Head Acolyte. "No," I admitted sheepishly. I know how much that cut her to the quick, and I know how deeply she loved and respected me. When she said, "All right," she never raised the issue again. She simply took me for what I was, her son. And when years later I was ordained as a Zen Buddhist priest, she was there, perhaps not quite understanding intellectually. God knows I did not understand intellectually, but understanding in her heart. And what else could one want from a mother? This coming Sunday we honor motherhood, the mother of Buddhas, the mother of the one Buddha, the mothers of us all, my mother, your mother, saints, demons, the halt and the lame, the broken and the whole. Each of them our mother, each of them what we would wish for, and each of them what we have got. In my backyard, the birds have swarmed in, filling the trees, the bird feeders, stocking up on the energy they'll need to lay eggs, brood those eggs, feed those insatiable chicks, and pass on the miracle of flight to the generations to come. This Sunday will be that day to celebrate, to hold close, to remember. Maybe a card, maybe a phone call. Such a small return on a lifetime. Thank you.